Hi, I'm Chris Slogar. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and you can find me online at buckeyeinklings.com. I post a lot of ideas there, and I also have an online store for any of the products, the tools or supplies that you see in my videos. So today I'm using this set from the Occasions 2016 catalog called Bear Hugs, and you can get it bundled with 9 framelits too to cut out many of these shapes. So let's get started. My card today is a little interactive card where I've used the greeting, "Wishing you a day full of sunshine and a lake full of fish." So to make it look like the lake is full of fish, I thought it would be cute if they were jumping. So I added this little wheel off to the right, and very simple. Let me show you how to do that. Okay, we are going to start, of course, with a card base, a regular card base, 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And I have that in Night of Navy, and then I have a soft sky mat that is 5 1/4 by 4. And we are also going to need a little piece of soft sky that I am going to punch with a 2.5-inch circle punch to make that wheel. And just to create a pattern, I'm also going to take a 2.5-inch circle of scrap paper, and I'm going to fold that in half. Going to fold that in half again, and just to make a little pattern for the notches on the wheel. And then at this point I folded it in roughly thirds so that we end up with some lines that we can follow to, first of all, find the center of the circle. So we can see, let me just better crease to find the center. I'm going to pierce through the center, and actually I'll use that, line that up with my soft sky, pierce the center, and then at all of these spokes I'm going to take my 1/8 inch circle punch, and at the end of each little spoke I'm going to use that as a guide to punch a little notch that will be a good little hold for spinning that wheel of fish. So just real quick, I know there's a lot of them, but it turns out cute to have a lot of them. Two more. Okay, so there we've used that pattern to create our little wheel. Alright, so at this point I already have fish cut and colored. I colored them with my alcohol markers. I also put a little wink of Stella over the top, so they're a little bit shimmery and they look slimy but glittery at the same time. So I'm just going to add, a little adhesive to the back of each one and place them on my wheel so that they're all going in the same direction. And the nice thing about this Tombow glue is after I get them in position, or what I think is the right position, I can play with them a little bit and push them before they dry. So I think that needs to go in. That needs to come out. Just a little. Okay, so there we have our wheel of fish, and we are going to simply locate that pull my pierce mat in so that the bottom of the wheel is just above the bottom of the mat, and there's enough room for a dimensional here. So we can even put that dimensional in place. Alright, and then that wheel we want to stick out about 1/4 inch or less from the edge of the mat, and then we're just going to pierce there and put a mini brad through that hole. And already this is taking shape. Okay, that gives you the spinner for the fish jumping out of the lake. Alright, very good. Now the rest is actually decorating. I'm going to figure out where I'm placing my mat, and I take that back. This is not decorating. I'm going to mark the card base at the widest part of the wheel, and I'm going to take my 1-inch punch and create a little divot there so that we have a place to turn the wheel. See, that will go over that, and that will make a natural place so that you're not running into the card base when you're turning the wheel. And at the same time, while we've got that figured out, we're also going to punch through the lower level too, the back of the card. So that just makes it easier to turn the wheel. Okay, and at this point I'm going to attach this piece to the card base, taking care to go around the brad so that it can move. We don't want to glue that down. Alright, so I'm going to put that into place. And again, this is what we're working towards, so I'll just lay that out here too. Okay, so I have a piece of Lost Lagoon. My lake water is Lost Lagoon, and it measures 5 1/4, the same size as the mat, by 2 inches. And I'm just going to take my 2.5-inch punch and snip out a little kind of like wavy pattern out of the top edge so that it looks like water. Alright, and then I'm going to sponge that to give it a little dimension, just with Lost Lagoon. Alright, and since I want the bear over on this side not to be raised, just because I don't want to keep up building a lot of dimension, I'm going to cut this piece where the bear will hide the cut, and then I am going to put this on with dimensionals. I'm going to put the waves on with dimensionals here over the fish. And already you can see this is the effect of the fish jumping here. And then this piece I'm going to hold on to a second. I want to build that background up a little bit. So I have a piece of garden green already embossed with, oh, I forget what that folder is called. It's still current. I'm going to cut it with the tree punch, make 3 trees, and going to put these down first so that they're kind of hidden behind the water. They're supposed to be like off in the distance. So let me just locate them. Doesn't really matter. Go going to put them in place. And the bear is kind of going to hide all this mess. And then this piece that I cut off of the waterline, I'm going to attach to the card here, to the card base, just in line with the rest of it, which is propped up on dimensionals. And then when we make this bear, we're going to prop him up on dimensionals. I already have a bear cut from soft suede, and I have a an oval shape cut. Oh, I'll have to look up which oval that is and post that as a note. It's just half an oval, and I'm actually going to trim off a little bit of the bottom. I've stamped it with the hardwood, and I'm going to even cut a little bit of my bear off and stick him in the boat. It's more like a barrel, little tub for the bear. And I've got this little 3/8 inch strip of hardwood that I am going to put as a top rim for the boat here, and trim away the excess. Okay, so there I have my bear in the boat. Now this section over here is raised, and this is waffly because of the trees, but not raised so much. So what I'm going to do is raise the bear up to the same level as this side of the water. I'm going to put a dimensional on his head, and then down here for the boat. And just kind of drop him in place. Alright, and what else do I need? I need some clouds, which I'm punching with my Tree Builder punch. 2 clouds. I am going to tuck one under this tree. I purposely didn't put a ton of glue on that so that I could kind of slide that in under there. And then the other one I'm going to pop up on dimensionals. And I also have a little 1-inch crushed curry sun. It's a 1-inch circle. I'm just going to tuck in behind the cloud there. Going to add this cloud. And we see it's pretty much coming together, except we have a little trim piece to put over the front here. And I want to stamp that with the greeting. I am just going to go for it because I mount my stamps pretty straight. Going to wishing you a day full of sunshine and a lake full of fish. Okay, so I've got that sentiment, and I am going to take my 2.5-inch circle punch, and again I'm going to knock out some little notches, some little circular wave notches on this piece of Lost Lagoon, which measures 1 1/4 by 5 1/4. So I'll post those dimensions. Alright, and again I'm going to sponge the top of this. Give it a little dimension. Oops, I got a little flaw in the paper. Okay, now we have a low spot here that I am just going to add a dimensional to. And then on this side I will just glue, simply glue that cover piece down in place, and this is it. Got a little interactive bear hugs card for a fishing enthusiast in your life. So that's it. That's simple. Thanks for joining me. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you again soon.